Yo, yo, yo. You already know it's time to go, go, go. Welcome to the show. What up, what up, what up, everybody? I am Marissa the Thinker. You are now tuned in to another episode of Thinker versus Speaker. Of course, I got another special guest in the building today. You already know her. You can already hear it. You can already hear it. We got Kay. We got Miss Katrina.
Hey y'all.
How you doing today?
I am good.
You are good. You are good. You are good. What you got going on?
What don't I have going on? What don't I have going on? Oh my God. It's the fact that we talk every day and I'm just like, bruh.
Yeah.
We have mad shit happening.
This my friend for manifesting right here, okay, y'all?
Okay.
This is my friend for manifesting right here. I know some of y'all don't like the word manifesting, but you know, this is the friend where my prayers get answered for the other folks. But like yeah.
For those in the back who not listening, who not really here with us.
Yeah. But you know what I'm saying? This is my manifestation friend right here. A whole master manifester. So with that being said, tell us a little bit about what you got going on lately. I know you got some stuff that you hiding up in your closet. It's time to bring it out.
Okay, because you know, so like right now I'm a school social worker. That's my full-time job. But as anybody who knows me, I'm a hustler, so I have a couple of things I do on the side.
A couple?
A
plethora.
Okay. I'll be doing a lot of shit on the side, you feel me? Also on the side, I do therapy with youth. Then I'm also do yoga as well. I've been doing the philosophy clinics with the organization that I got my certification from. And last but not least, that's what we're gonna talk about today. And last but not least, I have my workshops called Becoming, that I work with young teenage girls to develop self-esteem, skills and coping skills around everyday life type shit. It's really something I put together to help guide them in a way, or even answer some questions that they may not always want to talk with their parents about, or not even that, just questions that things they're curious about, but giving them some sort of guidance about relationships with themselves, with their peers, with other people, what it's like to show up for yourself, what it's like to love yourself, those kind of things that I think are that everybody should have, really.
Yeah, and that's an interesting age too. I have suspicions on what made you pick that age group, but I'll ask you first. So what made you want to specifically lock in on that specific demographic for now?
I wanted to work with teenage girls, especially Black and brown girls, because I'm a Black and brown girl, woman now, okay? Yeah. But when I was a girl, I just remember being a teenager, being insecure, having a lot of curiosity about things, and not necessarily knowing who to go to ask and really just no. And even with my self-esteem, is I appeared to be a really confident person, because ultimately I did believe all the things I say I was, but I didn't necessarily always feel that way. I may have felt pretty, felt smart, but I didn't always believe it. It was just okay, I was an awkward teenager, but also not in the inside I was, but outwardly I was just okay, she's cool, whatever,
yeah.
But there was so much I wondered, and I wanted guidance around, and I'm I want to just be what these girls need, because it's obviously I have in my mind from my own experience what I think they need, and that's how I built it off of stuff that they could use, not just as for teenagers and even into adulthood. You want to have good communication skills, you want to be self-aware, you want to know how to love yourself and cater to yourself and practice self-care. You want to know how to do those things, not just as a teen, but also when you get into adulthood and you become a young woman, and so it's why not? I think teenage is a great place to start, because that's when you really start to form your identity and start to become who you are. So Becoming voila.
Yeah.
So Becoming is it's just a start. It's I want to work with women too. I just feel teenagers is a good space for me to to start with, because it's like I feel like I don't know. I'm like, that's just like I just mentioned, like that was why I did it, because how I was as a teenager, and also I just feel like they give me so much life too. Like I love working with teenagers. They're always honest.
Yeah,
They're
they
honest
are.
shit.
Yeah, yeah.
They give me life, and I be learning from them too. It's like, okay, y'all keep me hip onto what's going on. That's why I was able to develop it around like self-esteem and confidence building, because I'm like being around them and like with me and all these different things that are like that they're impressed by subconsciously and consciously,
Mm-hmm.
to like take that away and like let's look at who you are, like who you see yourself as, like let's look at you and like take away all the external like distractions.
Right, 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 right. And like as you're saying that, it makes me wonder, right? Because when you think about the teenagers, those formative
Mm-hmm.
years, like it almost makes me wonder, is that about the time where those like mommy and daddy issues start to like surface? You know what I'm saying?
Oh,
Is
oh.
that where those things like really start to surface? That's when you really start feeling those insecurities and those like
Mm,
seeking
mm,
outside validation. You looking like towards the world for like, who am I supposed to be? What am I supposed to do? Right? Because as teenagers, we've all felt it.
yes.
That pressure to want to grow up fast and want to
Mm,
be like, like, all right, what is everybody else going on? Like, do I fit the mold? Like, where do I go? Like, where is my place in the world? Like, what is it that I do? And like trying to figure all of that out. And like sometimes if you don't have the right people around you or the right resources, like you start seeking outside validation from
yes. Yes.
all of the things, and you know what I'm saying, and sometimes we find them in the right places, sometimes we find them in the wrong places, you know what I'm saying. We start to
Mm-hmm.
rebel a little bit. You don't want to talk to your mom and your dad, like say if you got like mommy issues and stuff, because like we know the plight of a teenage girl. like
We
like
do. We're up in like moody, up and down, all over the place. I was a moody, like crabby ass fucking teenager. And it's because like y'all don't fucking get me. Y'all understand what I'm going through. None of
Yep.
this makes sense. My body's changing. I don't really know a lot about sex. I'm like, my friends are talking about it a lot, but it's like
Right, I don't know shit.
my experience
Yeah.
with it also wasn't pleasant. So it's like I don't really want to know about it. I don't want to talk about that. It's like all these different like things like that just, is a lot going on in the brain. Like it's like, am I pretty enough? Like, do I have to do this to fit in? Do I have to like change myself? Like, do I have to have sex? Do I have to fold into like peer pressure and like actually do what they're doing because I want to keep the friendship going? Like even like all the things is going through a teenage girl's mind like all the time. And I feel like with social media and all these different like, again, external factors, it's just like making it so more questionable about like who, like questioning who they are, like who am I, like
Right,
who
right,
am I,
right.
like yeah.
Right, because high school is very much a place like it's a double-edged sword. Some people can do it, but not everybody can do it. Because I'm not
Yeah.
gonna be like, no, like some people ain't like gonna be true. No, that's not true. Like there are some people that are very true to themselves
Yeah.
in high school. They know exactly who they are, what they
Mm-hmm.
will and they won't do. But like some people don't. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like
Right.
some people just don't, and then they kind of like fall into the like, all right, like what is it that I gotta do to fit in? Like
Mm-hmm.
what is it that I gotta do? Like everybody else around me is having sex, so I guess I gotta do it now too. Like
Yeah.
people keep putting pressure on me to do things that I don't want to do, but I don't know how to say no because I'm a people pleaser. But I don't know what a
Oh
people pleaser
yes.
is. I
Yes.
don't know what any of these things are. I also don't know who to ask because it's embarrassing to ask these questions because like what will people think if I ask these questions?
Exactly.
And it's nice to have somebody that's just like, yo, been there, get it. Like been there, get
Right.
it, let's talk about it. Like
Yeah, exactly. That's exactly my point. And it's like even with like those who are sure of themselves, it's like I love that because now you can teach other girls
other
how to be
people,
sure of
yeah.
themselves. So it's like, okay, we all have areas where we're struggling and we're insecure about. And it's just like, if you're not insecure in that area, and like you have a way of building confidence, I want you to show another person how to do that. Like, part of this program is also peer mentorship because I'm like, sisterhood, bonding, like that's something that's really, I think that we all need.
Mm-hmm.
Not even just these teenage girls, like we all need that sense of like community, that sense of belonging, that sense of like feeling like you've got somebody. Like a lot of like where I look at my life and I'm just like, you know what? I remember that was a good time in my life because I had a mentor. They was coaching me, they was helping me, they was like giving me that advice that, you know,
Right.
they was
Yeah.
building me up. They was showing me different things that I didn't know about myself, pulling out, you know, maybe some of my insecurities, but still pushing me on, like still being able to support me. And like, I think that's a method that works. I think it's a method that works. Is like being able to support people and like pull them up and like learn and grow from each other. I'm just like, that's a method that definitely works, if
All
you
right.
ask me.
Okay. All right, cool. So like, you may have said this already, but I just kind of want to either double down on it or just like highlight it. Okay. So like, what's the ultimate goal of becoming? Like, what are you trying to get these girls to walk away with when they go through this program?
Walking away from this, I want them to walk away with obviously like a mentor, and then like a deeper understanding of self, and like with some coping skills that they're able to like put in their toolkit for like when they're having a bad day or when they're not feeling their best self, but knowing how to like also advocate for themselves and like for their needs, and knowing how to prioritize their self. A lot of just self-awareness and growth ultimately.
And how do you do that? So like, what are some things that you use to do that?
So to do that, like I have workshops, and with these workshops, I meet with the current group that I meet with them once a week for an hour. It's freshmen and sophomores. So it's like I'll meet with the sophomores and then the freshmen. And we play games like icebreakers. I've created like these cards called Who Am I, where like I put celebrities and like they have different attributes to like who they are. And like somebody will come up and read it, and then we have to like guess like who am I, like who is that person. Also I have like questionnaires, different like games and activities. I also plan to have like some guest speakers in the future that like I actually admire. Mm-hmm. I think are dope women and like embody sisterhood and like all the things that I see when I think of becoming sisterhood, like self-awareness, like loving, caring, kind, compassionate. Like I think of all the things, like just being your very best self, like becoming the best version of yourself.
That's dope. Yeah. I'm sure that's interesting, right? You know what I'm saying? Yeah. It's always, and like I remember being in high school and you would have those like, anytime we would have like workshops and stuff like that, like mm-hmm. Some of the coolest ones were when the person that you work with were relatable and like mm-hmm. the things were fun, right? Because like, I mean, we had like the regular old stuff like that where it's just like, that shit's boring. But like to actually get something that like actually like helps you and like helps develop you and mold you, but doesn't feel like it. And then to be like, you know, facilitated by somebody that you can like actually connect with, somebody that you can like see part of yourself in. You know what I'm saying? And it's relatable, right? You know what I'm saying? Because like sometimes like the disconnect is in like, you know, the disconnect can be like in the program and like who does it, you know what I'm saying?
The approach,
like,
the approach is always like what matters. Even like as I talk about it, I'm like, obviously I'm teaching them skills, but it's not like, hey, we're gonna learn blah 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 blah. Like it's the format and like how I present it, because it's like I work with them in the summertime, so I'm like, okay, taught a child for the summertime. I'm like, this is a more relaxed setting, and it's like I have to meet them where they're at. They're like, it's on a Friday afternoon. They just done with. You gotta know the energy and know what you're getting.
Read the room,
read the room, read the fucking room, and like know who your audience is, and like be willing to adjust. And I think that's a big part of like what makes this work fun, because it's like I'm always pivoting, adjusting, restructuring. I'm like, okay, I can do this differently. Like always finding different and like innovative ways to like do stuff. And I'm like, that's the like just knowing how to adjust, because they appreciate it and like notice that when you're paying attention to them too.
Yeah, yeah. Paying attention to them is definitely
Yeah.
I'm sure that's effective too.
Yeah.
Because like, sometimes when you're that age, like a big part of at least from my experience, is just like being heard.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I'm saying? You don't always feel heard. You don't always feel seen or understood. So to be able to have an environment where you feel heard, seen, and understood, and it's with somebody that you can relate to, it's a recipe.
A recipe for awesomeness. Ew.
Yeah.
I don't know what else to say, but I'm like, the way you put it like that, I'm like, yes. I'm like, I want to facilitate and like help them voices come about, because I'm like, that's when I got mentored, that's what it helped. It helped bringing out the best parts of me. It's like, okay, you coming alive, okay, work on this, try this, maybe like okay, and then you start to just really see yourself become into like the person that you envision, like that, becoming. Like, it's gonna keep coming back.
Okay. So like, let's talk about the process of like how we got here, right? Because like everything starts with a seed. And like, what was your seed for this? Like, where did it stem from?
I would say my seed stemmed from me like always just wanting to play this role where like that I wanted in my life. Like, that's why I got into social work. I'm like, I want to be the change. I'm going to be the change that I want to see. Like, straight up, like, that's my motto. Like, if I want to see change, I know I have to be the one to do it, because it's like, if I keep waiting, it's not going to get done. So it's not. So I'm like, okay, I always wanted to work with, I work with kids. I love working with kids. I'm just like, who can I relate to? Who can I feel like I could actually bring something to, based off of my prior knowledge, my current knowledge, my emerging knowledge, like the things I know how to do and do. I'm like, teenage girl. It's nice to be a teenage girl. I have a lot of experience there. I'm like, I've seen how all my chaotic stuff and how things that happened to me in the past manifest even into my adulthood, which a lot of it stemmed from some of my teenage years.
Yeah, it does.
Or at least it got bigger in my teenage years. It's like maybe things started becoming more apparent and like more real, like starting to really vulnerable ages we're talking about right here.
I'm telling you, I got a theory with this mommy and daddy issue thing, but I'm gonna try to save it for another day. I'm gonna try to save it for a different conversation, okay? Because it's almost like that's where those, you know what I'm saying? That's where, like, when it's like one thing when you're a little kid, like you ain't thinking about all of that, but it's something about like those teenage years where you really start to develop your thoughts and your mindset, and that's when you start working on the social aspect of it, right?
Yes.
And it's just like you're figuring things out for the very, very first time, right? Because like even now, like at the ages that we are now, it's just like revisiting things. Like we're learning things, but it's just like we revisiting it. It's like we got to go back to them teenage years and be like, God damn. All right, so this came from that, okay? Like,
right, unpacking it, like, where did this come from? Okay. And that's what I've been doing. I've been unpacking a lot of that shit. I'm just like, whoa, this is a lot of shit. This is heavy. Like, been holding on to it for like a long ass time. And I'm in a space like I'm able to like release, and like with that release, I'm like, okay, now I'm ready to educate, because I want to help other kids who have experienced them with things, or maybe just like need somebody who could like fucking listen. Like, kids, we want you to listen. Like, I love listening to them, because it's like they bring so much insight and so much like thought into like the room, and I'm like, their opinions do matter. I feel like once you become that age, it's like sometimes, depending on where you are, it's like sometimes like you gotta fight to like for things to make sense. It's like teenagers are not stupid. We were not stupid. It's like we knew things. So it's like, why are you trying to play me like I'm a little kid?
Period. Because I'm figuring shit out, right?
Yeah.
And again, like maybe that's where these issues come from, because it's just like depending on who you have around you, right? You know what I'm saying? Depending on who you are around you, like there's a couple things that happen in your teenage years, right? Because some people come from places where, like, we grown now. parents be
Yeah.
busy. Like, parents be busy. Parents aren't
So,
always necessarily present. Like, they provide for you. You know what I'm saying? They can get you everything that you need, but like being emotionally present, like, you know what I'm saying, to see you, to hear you, to like
oh,
validate you, you know what I'm
oh,
saying? Like, sometimes that's not necessarily always there.
yeah.
So like, you know, to have somebody that's like giving you that, or to like know where it's just like, okay, like I need to be heard. Like, those are the ages where it's just like, I need to be heard. Like, I need somebody to like, you know, help me figure this shit out. And like, sometimes when we can easily disregard children in a way, because it's just like, oh, you a kid, you don't understand how this shit works. Just, you know what I'm saying? And an adult will give you adult advice,
Yeah.
but you don't understand that because you're a child. You know what I'm saying? So you're talking to me from your old, you know, not your old age, but your grown age.
Yeah.
But I need that shit delivered in a way that actually makes sense to me.
That's receptive. Okay.
Exactly.
Okay.
Exactly. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, if you gonna tell me the what, I need you to tell me the why.
Okay. That's it. Just give me the answers that I'm asking you in a way that makes sense to me.
Exactly. And don't try to make me feel like my shit don't, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because you're not hearing me. Like, you're not hearing what it is that I'm saying. I might not have the words to say this shit as eloquently as you can.
Yeah.
But like, I'm saying something that means something, but I'm being disregarded because I'm a child. So now it's just like, well, what the fuck? You know what I'm saying? It's just like, well, what the fuck? And it's just like, you know, having somebody actually hear you. Because it's just like, you know, kids be knowing what the fuck they talking about. They do. They know what they talking about sometimes. Every kid ain't dumb. Every kid ain't crazy. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, even now in my old age, it's just like, now I realize why some grown people didn't like me, because I was always telling the truth.
Not everybody's ready for the truth. That's the place that everybody wants to go. Some people love living in denial. Like, that's the thing. Like, okay, go be in denial over there, because we're not over here. We have to dish out the truth, accept the truth, and be okay with it.
Yeah, but like, you know, you'll tell a kid like, oh, you don't know what the fuck you talking. You a kid. Shut your ass up. I done lived life. I know. I've lived life. You ain't been through what I've been through, so you don't know what you talking about. Yeah. It's just like, no, you ain't hearing me. You ain't hearing me. I know what I'm talking about. You ain't hearing me. You don't want to tell me that I'm right. You don't want to tell me I'm right. You rather like you want me to sit here and feel like I'm stupid because you grown and I'm not, and you feel like you have the power. So you gonna make me question my damn self. So then you walk away, like, you know what I'm saying? So now you got insecurities and shit because motherfuckers telling you like, oh yeah. But like, in reality, like, nah, you was on to something. You was on to something. Like, you was on the right track. You know what I'm saying? But like, not everybody wants to listen to the kid because you a kid.
Because they put that, because it's putting a label like, okay, kid, adult. My opinion matters over here, and it's like, no, we're all human, experiencing human things. Obviously, developmentally wise, like, everybody's experiencing something different based off their age and shit. But it's like, basic like emotions and feelings and showing up and being present, things like that, I feel like is not an age thing. Because even with my nieces, it's like, I'm very in tune with like their feelings. Like, I know when Autumn's crying for real, and I know when she's faking for attention.
Yeah,
it's like, I know when she's hungry. Like, it's when you make yourself present and you pay attention to patterns and you observe and you ask questions and you are in tune, you know. But it's like you said, that presence is not always available.
Yeah.
Especially as you get older, because it's like, okay, you're a little bit independent, you're a little bit mature, you could kind of figure things out. But it's like, yeah, I can figure, like, you know, logical things out, but like emotionally, I'm emotionally immature as shit.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. And instead of like, you know, handling me like a tiny human, I'm a child. You know what I'm saying? Like, I am a child. You know what I'm saying? I'm not getting taught to how to process these emotions.
Yeah.
I'm just, niggas look at me like, oh yeah, you just crying because you, whatever. But it's just like, no, like I have feelings that I'm working through that I don't
Yeah.
understand, and this is the only way that I know how to process them and get them out. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like process them and get them out. It's just like, could you teach me that, you know what I'm saying? Like, oh, I'm hurt, but like this will pass, and like it's okay to cry for this moment, but like what do you do after you finish crying? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, don't tell me to not feel, don't tell me to not cry, don't tell me to not deal with it. Like, show me how to deal with it. Like, I'm a tiny human, but like get on my level and like teach me, you know what I'm saying? If you want me to mature, you know what I'm saying? It's almost like it's almost like there's no balance between the two. It's just like either act like an adult or act like a child. It's just like, can we bridge it?
Yeah. It's funny you said that, because it's like we think that, like, even with our own parents, like, hey, why didn't I know how to do this? It's like sometimes our parents don't do the things because they don't
know how to do
what
them.
That is, and it's like they don't have the capacity for that, or like they may have their own issues that they're working through that they're not ready to deal with, and like they're where they're at, and it's like that's a big thing that I like to teach people. It's just like accepting people for where they're at, like meeting them where they're at. I sometimes struggle with this, and it's like, why the fuck are you not right here? Because I know you be right here.
Yeah.
Why are you playing around? But like ego, like that ain't about me.
Yeah.
I can see what I want to see all day, but like I have to see what's in front of me, like what's presently like showing up. And like, okay, that's where you at. Okay, cool. I'm okay with that. And if I'm not okay with that, being able to walk away, but acceptance is key. Like that's a really big thing I'm teaching, and I want to continue to teach acceptance.
Yeah, right. Because we walk around like, you know what I'm saying? Even with what I'm saying, right? Like the beauty is being able to understand both perspectives as an adult. And that's the only reason why I'm talking about it, right? Because if you can understand that as an adult, it will probably make it a little bit easier to relate to a child. But again, I don't have no kids or whatever. But, just being able to recognize that and understand that, because a lot of things that even in those teenagers years, it's like you don't know how to process those emotions. So it's like you walking around angry, hurt, sad, like why isn't this person showing up for me? Why I ain't got this? Why I ain't got that? Da 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 da. And like we get older and we still walk around like why?
Mm-hmm.
But then as you start, if you pull back from the emotions, right,
Mm-hmm.
and you really think about it, it's just like, even with, I'm glad I don't have kids right now, because even when I think about myself and my dog, right,
mm-hmm.
I'm not present all the time.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not in a position to be present all of the time.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? So I can understand, like, how can I be mad? You know what I'm saying? When it's just like, now I can understand what it's like to work a job all day for 40 hours and come home, and you trying to cook, you trying to clean, you trying to do this, you trying to do that, you trying to do this.
You can relate to them feelings now.
Yeah, so it's just like, you know what I'm saying? It's like you walk around, it's like, I ain't even mad. Like, I get it.
I understand you fully. I'm like, yo, like this shit a lot. Sometimes I come home and I still be cooking, and I'm like, yo, I'm tired, and I'm like, I still be trying to spend a little time with my niece. I'm like, yo, I don't got it for you.
I ain't got it.
I ain't got it at all, and I can't even fake it. It's like I ain't got it.
Yeah,
that's real as fuck. And then it's like, okay, my parents had multiple kids. 3 of us, 3 different personalities. One is outside. One is like not answering her phone. The other one, we don't know where he's at. Like, imagine the anxiety, the feelings, and the worry and the stress. I didn't even put that together until just now. I'm just like, holy shit.
Yeah, doing all of that. And it's just like, how the fuck can I walk around and be mad? You know what I'm saying? How the fuck can I walk around and be mad? I still say this shit all the time, and it blows me, right?
Mm-hmm.
I say this shit all the time, and it blows me, because my dad had 2 jobs, and I did not know.
Mm-hmm.
It didn't even register. You know what I'm saying? Like, it doesn't even register. And like me as an adult, I don't want 2 fucking jobs. I do not want 2 fucking jobs.
Baby.
I want 1 job. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Baby, me too.
I work 1 fucking job, and I take care of a dog in a household, and I'm like, that's a fucking enough. That's a fucking enough.
I'm tired.
And like, fortunately, like, you know what I'm saying? And even when I'm saying like I didn't know my dad had 2 jobs, it was just like it never clicked, it never registered, because I know that I saw him at night when he came home at midnight with his blimpy sandwich, or like making his spam sandwich. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's when I saw him then. And you know what I'm saying? He would be at home in the afternoon, because I remember it was one time specifically I forgot my lunch and he brought my lunch to school in the middle of the afternoon. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's the shit that you remember.
Yeah.
And to think, right, as an adult, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, as an adult, it's just like, yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, there were things that I wanted, you know what I'm saying? Like, emotionally, like, you know what I'm saying? It's just like, oh, like, yeah, I wish you could have came to my day of graduation in the middle of the afternoon. But goddamn it, I understand why the fuck you wasn't there.
You tired. You worked all day.
You at work. You at work, so I can eat. You know what I mean? You at work,
so I can have that lunch.
Exactly. So I can wear them goddamn Skechers that I don't want to wear, that I'm complaining about. You know what I'm saying? Like, I get it now, and it's just like, yeah,
okay.
Like, my feelings are what they were, and they're valid and everything like that. But what the fuck do I look? I'm grown. Like, I can't walk around being. I know what you have to do. I haven't even had to do what you had to do.
That's it. That's why they did what they had to do, so we could do what we want to do. Okay. They paved the way so we could be like, you know what? I'm going to become exactly who the fuck I want to become. Like, I'm going to do what the fuck I want to do. And I'm like, you know, I'm grateful for my parents because they've done a lot.
Yeah.
They've allowed me to be free and tap in and do different things. Like, I'm the first in my family to go to college, so it's just like, okay, that, like, you know, that was a big thing, like, to just go and see what that was about, then go get my master's, and like, now I'm licensed. Like, what? Like, because of my parents, because of them, like, I am Kachina. Like, I am my parents. Like, you feel me? Like, obviously I have my personality and things that I do are not always solely my parents, but it's like, because of them, I am me. Like, literally, like, that's why it's important we honor our parents, like, period.
Yeah. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like, what you want to walk around, you know what I'm saying? Like, why you walking around being angry, resentful? Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Angry, resentful, like, just like, why they didn't do this, they didn't do that. Nah.
You do
it. Exactly.
You do it.
Put your feet in their shoes.
Your turn.
Your turn. Because it's our turn now, right?
Your turn.
It's our turn now. Yeah. And because of what they did, you don't even have to do half the shit that they had to do.
Okay, you don't have to start from where they started from, because you got the okay.
You can recognize it. You can recognize it. You can literally recognize it, right? So the same things, peep this, the same things that you mad at your parents about are the same things that now you have the self-awareness to address and deal with, because you were put in a situation created by them for you to be better. Yep. Because they didn't have time to figure out the shit that you figuring out right now.
Speak on it.
The same way they parents didn't have time to figure the shit out that they had to figure out before you even got here.
Okay.
Because they had issues too. Period. Period. So those same sacrifices, those same things that you mad at, are the things that made you who you are, that made you strong, that made you powerful. And it's so crazy.
The speaker.
Don't loose me up.
The fucking speaker, actually.
I'm both. I'm like T.I. It's T.I. versus Tip right now. But let me not compare myself to T.I. in 2022. I don't think that resonates the same way.
No.
But it depends on what community you get at too. It depends on what community. Okay? But like, no, like, real shit though. It's just like, you know what I'm saying? Sometimes, like, getting our emotions in check and thinking about things rationally, right? Because, like, don't get me wrong, like, I still get triggered. I ain't always happy, joy when it comes to my feelings about certain things. Like, I still get mommy and daddy issues triggered on a regular basis. But like when you take your emotions out and you calm down and you really think about it, it's just like, actually, like, I don't have to walk around being angry, upset, or whatever. Like, it's okay to forgive. You know what I'm saying? It's okay to acknowledge and forgive and just be able to move on with like understanding.
Mm-hmm.
And like, I think what's kind of cool about your program is just like, it kind of shows all of these things at an early age. So instead of like now at this age, right, where we're unpacking these things, because even what I'm saying are new thoughts to me.
Yeah.
As they come out of my mouth. So like, to be able to be like, all right, I get where you coming from.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? I know you mad. I know you don't want to talk to your mama. I know you feel like she don't understand you and she don't understand where you coming from. But like, look at it this way. Like, I hear you. I hear your feelings. I know where you coming from. I get it. But check this out. You know what I'm saying? Like, but check out this perspective, right?
Okay.
And at that early age, you learning how to see multiple perspectives. And like, let's be honest, we've met people even at these ages that can't do that. All they can see is their side.
They can't see beyond their self, and it's like, you gotta be able to see all sides to make a decision. Because if you go on big on what you see, that's pure ego. That's fear.
Pure. Yeah.
That's like you just knowing that only your way exists, nothing else, and just like, that's not real. Like, being able to teach them how to be beyond themselves, understand their parents in a way they may not want to understand them. Because I'm like, even at my big age, I'm learning how to understand my mother and her needs, and like how they may have, how they manifest into like her own adulthood and may still be showing up now, even as an old. Okay, you human.
Mm-hmm.
You also have your own shit, and it's like, you may have, like we talked about before, like may have not been able to be there because it wasn't there for you, and it wasn't there for your mama, and so forth. But I'm like, this is where it stops.
Exactly.
This is where we stop this shit. It's like, no, we gotta be a little bit more present, a little bit emotionally aware, and be there for each other. And that doesn't mean distance ourselves emotionally, not talking about feelings, brushing shit under the rug, all these different that I plan to address, and becoming just like, there are healthy ways to go about your shit.
Yeah.
That doesn't feel harmful, that doesn't feel heavy, that doesn't feel overwhelming. Like, obviously the beginning is going to be a lot, because like anything, a change is going to hurt a little bit. It's gonna, that shit's gonna hurt a little bit, but like, once you get it and it makes good at it, you'll get
right.
Yeah.
Right. Because like, change isn't always pleasant. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm saying this, right? And it just sounds like, oh, you make it sound so easy. It's not easy. I get that. You know what I'm saying? Like, there are parts of the process that y'all don't see. You know what I'm saying? Like, there are parts of the process.
Ugly ass part.
The ugly ass parts. You know what I'm saying? Where you have that, where that shit hits you and you realize what hurt you on such a deep level.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you know what I'm saying? You realize that shit hurt on such a deep level. But guess what happens after that? These realizations. You know what I'm saying? Making peace with those things. Like, that's what happens after the fact. Like, no, of course it's not easy, but it's worth it.
Nothing that's worth it and that's going to have some longevity is going to be easy. Like, everything requires work. That's another big thing. Like, this going to take some work and some dedication, some discipline. You got to want it more than like feeling entitled to it. Like, this is everything revolving around change and things that you really want. You have to work hard for it, because if it's something that comes easy to you, it's not going to last. There's no way it's going to last. It's not going to last if it comes easy.
Hell no. Absolutely not. Absolutely not. And like, that kind of leads me into a new thing, right? Because that's what I'm even learning with this, and we kind of talked about it in the last episode with Danny. It's just like, oh, these things, like, when you want to do something, and this is anything, like if you want to grow emotionally, if you want to start something, if you just want to change your habits, like, it's not going to be easy. Like, you have to have a real life purpose behind what it is that you're doing, because it's going to be tested.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Anything that's worth having, like, there are going to be humps in the road where you really got to decide if this is what I really want. Is this what I really want? Because it's going to be challenging. It's going to be days where you don't want to do it. It's going to be days where you get scared. It's going to be days where, you know what I'm saying, you ain't got the right tools or the resources, or at least you feel like you don't, because you have everything that you need for where you are. But, like, you know what I'm saying? Or you got to think outside the box to make some shit happen. And, like, that's the process. That's what makes it. That's what brings it into real life fruition. But, you know, if you think that it's going to come the easy way, it's not going to happen like that.
No, it's not. And you made a good point about, like, your purpose, the whys. Like, the why is really what pushes me to keep going and do this work, because sometimes I do doubt myself. I'm just like, I don't like being in the forefront. I'm like, I don't want to facilitate. I don't want people to see me. Like, but I'm like, why the fuck not? Like, why not? And my biggest why is my nieces. Like, my nieces are really a big, become whoever you want to become, and do that shit so unapologetically. Like what? What's up? I'm here. Okay.
Yes. Yes. You know what I'm saying? Yes. And I love the fact that you say that, because it points something out to me. Because, like, when you see somebody doing something, right, mm-hmm. that comes like somewhat naturally to them, mm-hmm. we, from the outside looking in, you'd be like, oh, it must be easy for them.
No,
it must be easy for them. and fuck no, like, it's not. You know what I'm saying? Like there are times where you really do question yourself. Like, even with what I do, because I heard it in what you said, with what I do now, even before I started this process, I realized that God put me in this position because everything that I feared, every insecurity that I had, right, mm-hmm. has to be dealt with in order to do what it is that I have to do.
Okay. And
that's how full circle shit is. Yes. Like, that's how full circle shit is. Because God, it's almost like, here I go. It's almost like, it's like God creates
now.
God creates you with, like, a, you know what I'm saying? I don't want to call it like a can of worms, but it's like a magical recipe. And it's just like, you gonna have to overcome all of this shit to come out on top, but you will come out on top.
Period.
You know what I'm saying? And it's all those things that will stop you if you think about it. You know what I'm saying? It's all of the things that'll stop you, because, you know what I'm saying? If you sitting here questioning if I'm good enough, am I built for this? Am I good enough?
Is it my time?
Is it my time? All of those things. You'd be like, you know what I'm saying? Like, oh, I don't like speaking in public. I don't like being seen. But then again, like, you go through these experiences and it's just like, but I know I want to do this.
Yeah.
I know this is what I want to do. So guess what you do?
Just do it.
You deal with it. You overcome it, and then you come out on top. I'm telling you, everybody that y'all have heard me bring on this podcast, they say the same shit about me. They be like, "Damn, I could not." Nick, you do a podcast, and it's just like, yeah, because they knew me when I was running. Mm-hmm. They knew me when I was running. Y'all knew me when I was running from my purpose. And, like, when you run from your purpose for so long, and God kicks your ass for so long, because that's why you getting your ass kicked on some real shit. Like, you get your ass kicked when you run from your purpose.
Yeah.
And, like, when you go ahead.
I'm sorry.
No, don't be.
Yeah, I'm like, when you're running, he's gonna drag you, and he's gonna keep showing you. You're gonna keep learning the same lessons. Cause, like, I told your ass the first time. You keep learning the same lesson, and you're just like, God, why me? He like, you could have been left this cycle, but you like repeating cycles because you're comfortable there, because it makes no sense, because you know what to expect is going to be the same every damn time.
You more scared of the things that hurt you than the things that's gonna make you grow.
Okay, and that's a fact.
You scared of the real things that hurt you, because the things that you are scared of don't actually hurt you.
Um, but when you give them that power to feel like they can and give it that energy, that's when it manifests into that. You just keep getting hurt because it's like that's what you're expecting. So okay,
That's what you
that's what
get.
you're gonna get.
That's what you get.
Yeah.
But if you expect good things, when you expect good things, then that's what you get.
Yeah.
That's what you get. So in that case, like, let's talk about how becoming came to be, because I like low key, like, now I wasn't there, I'm not even gonna act like I was there for the whole beginning of the process, right? But like, you know what I'm saying, I saw the part before, you know, right before it became, like, before it rooted, like before it came into this world, like when it went from being an idea to being in this world. And like, can we talk about that process of like, when you want something, like, one, let's talk about the work that you had to do to actually make it happen. Let's talk about that part first.
Okay.
From when it was just an idea.
Okay, so when it was just the idea, it was just like some thoughts and just like, what can I do? Like, what does that look like? Like, and I start with words and stuff, like what words I want to use, like what is it I'm trying to say? Like, what is the message? What is the purpose behind this? I start off by like words and like maybe some pictures, because that's how that's how I manifest. Like, I'm a visual manifester, so it's like pictures and words. So words that mean something, and I knew I wanted to do something that like was healing in a sense, or like able to deal with some inner feelings. Like, I know I wanted to be doing something that says, I'm just like, what does that look like? Is that me doing yoga? Is that me just doing like some social groups? Like, what does that look like for me? So it started off with the idea of like, what is it I want to do? What does that look like? Who I want to work with? Really getting those key things down, like really specific as possible. Like, what is it that I want my message to be?
Ooh, okay.
Okay. And I'm like, I was looking for a name. The thing is, I've been like playing around with like ideas and things to do. Last year when I first moved back, when it's like I'm back home, I need to like, you know, do something. Like, I want to be active, but like God sat me down for a minute. He was like, nope, it's not your time.
Who you telling?
You want to sit? Cause it's like nothing was coming through. I'm just like, yo, I feel like shit. Like nothing is making sense. Like, I don't know, but I had this idea like back in 2020. I'm just like, oh, I'm gonna have this girls group or something. Like, I'm gonna have something with girls empowerment. Like, cause I did that when I was in St. Louis Public Schools. We did like 2 little groups with that, and I'm like, I love this kind of work. I'm like, cause you are able to get girls in a space where like they're with their peers and able to share freely and openly, and they need that, because that's not always an option. Even they may talk with their peers in school, but sometimes you need an adult or like a role model, a figure to help you facilitate those conversations and give you insight that your friends may necessarily not give you.
Right. Yeah.
Let's just keep it a buck. It's like, you know, when we was young, we was wilding. We need somebody like, you doing too much, to chill hot ass down. Or
yeah,
I see where you're going with this, but you might not get the attention that you think that you're going to get.
That you think you want, yeah.
And from there, I'm just like, the name Becoming, I don't even know. I feel like it was a day after like I was doing yoga. Like, this was during I was doing my yoga training. And I just started typing up something because I'm just like, I really want to do something. And like, I wanted to have a big impact on young girls. I'm just like, what am I going to do? And I'm like, what is it going to be called? And I'm just like, becoming. Like, you becoming this person, becoming like a butterfly. And that's what I keep hearing, like becoming a butterfly, because that's where I'm at in my life. Becoming my butterfly right now. They could be becoming a cocoon, coming out their cocoon. They could be coming into a butterfly as well. We're all in different seasons of our lives. So it's like right now I'm in a season of like, I'm flying, I'm spreading my wings, I'm allowing myself to be free. And it's like, I want to help girls experience that too.
Yeah.
And that's really how it started. And it's like this past summer, I worked at this organization in New York, and I taught social justice to them for a couple of weeks. It was really nice. Like, I vibe with the kids. It's like some kids from Brooklyn, you feel me? I want to be from New York so bad. I've been going to New York since I could walk. So it's like, I love this city. Like, it's just a vibe. Like, it's always something about it. It just re-energizes me. Like when I'm there, even if I'm tired of shit, if I'm going to York, my energy is pumped up because I just know I'm about to just be uplifted some way somehow. But yeah, like I said, I taught with them over the summertime. They wanted me to come back and like they wanted to have something for the girls, and I was like, okay, I have this idea. I've like had a whole lesson plan and shit for it like for a minute. And I just sat on it. I'm just like, I ain't gonna do it because I'm like, I don't know where it's gonna go, how I'm gonna do it, where I'm gonna host it. Like I didn't have a space for it outside of like my Google Drive. I'm like, okay, it's just gonna be here until like, you know, the time is right. I'm like, maybe if I work in the school again,
But you had it ready.
I had it ready.
That's key. I couldn't let you go without like pointing that out. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, hear that, y'all. She had it ready. Didn't know what she was gonna do with it. Didn't know the what. Didn't know the how. But it was there and it was ready. That's key. I'm sorry. Keep going.
You're good. Yes, I had it ready. So when they asked, I'm like, okay. I wrote the proposal, but like, remember I was struggling with this shit. I'm like, yo, I don't know how to write this proposal. Like, I don't know, like, if I put enough information. Like, I'm struggling to write this fucking proposal. And it's like, why are you, like, it was really hard for me to write it. And it's like, I was struggling with believing in myself that, like, bitch, you write a proposal for your fucking workshop series. Like, you dead ass. Like, I'm like, this me?
Yeah,
me
it's
right
you.
Now?
It's you. Yeah.
Because I do it for other people. I've done it for other people. Like, you feel me? I write proposals.
You doing it for me right now.
Okay? And it's like, for myself, I'm like, I gotta do this for me. I'm like, holy shit. But I hit that send button, and when I submitted it, I was like, okay, I feel good.
Yeah, because you was nervous.
I was nervous as shit.
You was working yourself up. Like, she downplaying the fuck out of it. And I ain't saying this the only reason why I'm bringing it up is because like I want to highlight, you know what I'm saying? Like, yes, like it happens. Like, this shit is so normal. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you gonna have the moments where you work yourself up and be like, can I do this? Is this real? Is this me? But you do it anyway. Like, yes. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like, yes, like it's okay.
I did it with fear.
Yeah, and that's how we do it. We do this shit with fear. You know what I'm saying? We do this shit with fear. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you know, I'm sure the first couple times when Beyonce went on stage, she had nerves.
Yeah.
I'm sure anytime she displays some new shit, she got nerves. But the difference is you gotta let that shit go. Like, you can have them nerves. It's cool. They gonna be there. But we gotta learn how to live with the fear, live with the nervousness. Like, we gotta learn how to make that shit a part of the fucking process. Just incorporate that shit in the process. And pit send anyway. Hit it scared.
Just go forth.
Yeah.
Prosper.
Do it scared. Do it scared.
That's exactly what the fuck I did. And like, they loved my proposal, obviously. I had my first session a couple of weeks ago. It went really fucking good. I was like, oh, okay. Like, in my game that I created, like, went really well. I was like, oh, I could do this. Like, okay, like, wow. And it's just, sometimes I just be in awe because I'm like, this is not how I see myself. It's like, I'm a person who's behind the scenes all the time, always. Like, I would help push people ideas. Like, I'm the friend that you got an idea and you trying to manifest it, you trying to get it going, and you want it to be really big. Come to me.
Yeah.
But when it comes to my own shit, it's like, that, am I doing too much? Like, is that enough? Like, is the doubt. And it's just like, why I'm trying to be a better friend to myself, and that includes like me showing up for myself the way I show up for my friends. Like, okay, no,
because you be showing the fuck out.
I'm like, you feel me? I'm like, I'm doing this because I'm supposed to be doing this. It's like, it's making sense because it is making sense. My friend last weekend, John Carl, he was saying like, you are so deserving of all the love that you want and desire. And I'm just like, I'm like, really? He's like, no, like, you're really deserving of all the love that I desired. I'm just like, I'm starting to believe that. It's like, I'm deserving. I deserve to be.
You deserve to be. Like, yeah.
Okay.
You do. Because like, I'll give you your fucking flower. I'll give you your fucking flowers. Like, I was fucking, like, even this week, like, you've been like showing the fuck up and like showing the fuck out for me. Like, no, for real. Like you going so hard for me. Like, I'm questioning myself. Like, damn, am I advocating for myself this fucking hard? Hold on. Like, you know what I'm saying? It's just like, hold on, wait. And it's just like, so like, yes, like, absolutely. And it's just like, even when you was having all the doubts, I was like, I hope she going just as hard as on her shit as she is for mine, because there's no way that I'm finna let you give all of my shit this much energy and we not gonna give your shit the same amount of energy. Like, there's no fucking way. Like, because you deserve, like, no, for real, like, you really do. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
thank you.
Because it's not a lot of people that's willing to go as hard for somebody else's shit as they willing to go for themselves. You know what I'm saying? And it's just like, yeah, it's no way. Like, it's no way you finna pour into my shit more than your own. Fuck no. Like, I'm not even finna let you. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not even finna let you, because you deserve to have. You got good ideas. You got good things that you're trying to bring out into the world that needs to also manifest. And I think that's like kind of like the beauty of life. We said this a little bit in the episode with Danny, and I think it kind of comes up a lot in my podcast, where it's just like, you meet people and it's bigger it's bigger than, you know, where you met or how you met. You know what I'm saying? It's just like the jobs that we go to, the people we meet in school, things like that. It's just like, it's not even about the place. It's more about the people that we encounter and how we treat those people, and how those people like show up for us in our lives, right? Like, how many, you know what I'm saying? Like, when we met, it was some bullshit. But
that's the whole thing. We was wilding.
But you know what I'm saying? Like, and it turns out to be it turns out to be more, and that's what I'm saying. And like, that's just one example of like how just God be like pulling little strings behind the scenes, and like, we don't even know, because it was just like, you've come to be exactly what I needed at one point in time. And I'm sure you got stories in your own life, and I got stories in my life, where it's just like, now we're coming into a spot where God is starting, like, he done laid them strings out your whole life, and now he's starting to bring them, like, pull them all in, and like bring the picture into form, and he's just like, yeah, you see it now.
Are you looking?
Yeah, like, you see how it's all finna come together now. And it's just like, it's really cool to like watch that manifest. But like, yeah, like, certain people don't come around every fucking day. And like, yeah, you deserve it, girl. You better pop your shit.
Period. Y'all give me so much life, though. It's like, I feel like without people I have in my life right now to like really pour into me and allow me to pour into them, like, I'm accepting the love. Now. And that's really what fueled me, like the love and support that I've been receiving, and like that I'm able to give back. Like, that shit, that's how a bitch be making it through the day.
Right. Because how long did we push it away?
For so long, undeserving of love, undeserving of like people truly caring about me and showing up for me, thinking that people will not have the capability and capacity to really be what I want and need. So I'm hyper independent, hyper like, I'm gonna just do it myself. And it's just like, I don't have the tools to really give it to myself, because it's like, I don't really know what it is to love myself fully, authentically, and accept myself. And it's just like, I've done that for so long. Even doing it now, it feels a little odd, because like, I can put myself first. Like, my needs matter, and not feel guilty about it. And I could just say, you know what, I'm doing me right now, and like, not have to explain to people like why I'm doing me. It's like, that's such a great feeling to really just show up for myself in ways I didn't even know was possible. And I'm becoming the best version of Kachina right now. Like, literally every day I wake up and I'm becoming a better version of who I was yesterday.
Yes, as you should. As you should. And like, that's something actually that you just kind of like brought up too, that I want to pull out, because it's just like allowing yourself to feel it.
Yeah.
That's a big thing too. Like allowing yourself to be able to feel the love, to accept the love. Because in my journey, what I'm now that I'm getting to a different side of it, right? Like I pushed away love, not knowing it. I
Yeah.
pushed away love looking for it in the wrong things and people, places, and things because I didn't feel like I deserved it. It was easier to choose the things that weren't giving it to me and hope that I would get it from the places where I wasn't getting it versus being able to see where I was getting it and realize that I was actually pushing it away. So like, you know what I'm saying? So once I learned how to love myself and what it really looked like, that's when it's like, it's kind of weird because it's just like, you realize the people that were actually trying to give you the love, trying to, you know what I'm saying?
Show up
Do
for
that.
you.
Trying to show up for you. And like, then you can also recognize even in the places where you weren't getting it the way that you wanted to get it, right? You know what I'm saying? It's just like, yeah, like they were giving me love in the best capacity that they could.
Yes, what they knew and how they knew how to do it, and just recognizing that, like, how I think when you learn how to love yourself, you just learn in what ways that like you need love and how you need love to look for you. Because for so long I feel like I was allowing people to tell me what love was and going off of what they had to give me and accepting it for love, because I didn't know any better and really insecure and really just like wanting to be attached and close to something or somebody. I was just taking whatever was thrown at me, like, and looking at myself now, I'm just like, yeah, it took a lot of work, because that was my last relationship was a big ass test to like, do you love yourself for real?
Woo. It wasn't
like,
looking,
do you know what love
it was
is?
looking bleak for a while, yeah.
It was looking real, like you looking not like yourself. You looking real low, looking low self-esteem.
Yeah.
Like a motherfucker, abandonment issues.
All up in the ceiling.
All up in the ceiling. Like all up in his face. Like just insecure as hell.
Taking shit you probably would never normally even take. Shit
Just
you ain't even gonna
whatever.
go for. Yeah. Honestly, it's just like, damn, you look back like, damn, did I love myself?
No.
I don't know. I do now. But yeah, I don't know. Because it's just like, and it's so crazy because like, it's like you look back at yourself and like you get mad. Oh, this is a perfect example though, right? Because it's just like I'll look back and I'll think about shit that I dealt with and shit that I accepted, and I knew I didn't want to accept it even when I was accepting that shit, but I did it anyway for whatever reason. And then you look back at yourself and you get mad, like, God, why the fuck were you even there? Why did you even put yourself in that situation? Like, why the fuck? And you stay, like, you dead ass be mad at yourself.
Hell yeah.
You dead ass be mad at yourself, right? But then when you able to like forgive yourself, when you able to forgive yourself, that's how you start forgiving other people.
Yes.
That's how you start letting them other things go. Because it does start in yourself. Like if you can forgive yourself for even putting yourself in certain situations, like having certain things happen to you, like once you start, then you get it. Because now you understand, because you've had to forgive yourself. Who the fuck you finna be madder at than yourself?
Exactly.
How you gonna love somebody if you don't love yourself?
Oh, baby, that's the one right there.
You know what I'm saying?
One. I think my ex said it to me one time. It's like, you right. How am I about to?
And what happened?
Any love in me to give to you. So like, what?
Yeah, and then once I start loving myself, guess where you go?
You gotta go, because it's like I can't.
Thank you for the gym.
There.
Thank you for the gym.
Lessons.
That's what you was here for. Like that's literally why God put you here. Ain't that so ironic?
Yeah.
Niggas told me I needed therapy. Absolutely. You're so right.
You're so right. God bless you. I'm a little like you. Okay, I need to do work. Okay,
your lack of self-awareness did wonders for me. And you know why I was with somebody who had a lack of self-awareness? Because I didn't have self-awareness.
mirroring the fuck out of each other. Like, oh no, it's you. And it's like you're literally pointing at yourself every fucking day. Every time you're upset, you're literally fucking talking about all the things you don't like about yourself.
And boom.
And boom.
And boom. And boom. But on that note, I think I'm gonna go ahead and wrap this one up. We're gonna have to do some more. We're gonna have to do some more things here. But I think it all came full circle at the end, to be honest with you.
It always does.
It always really, 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 really does. Do you have anything else for the people before we start to wrap this up? Anything else you want to get into?
No, thanks for having me. I was happy to talk about becoming. Eventually, I'll have like a social media page to talk more about it. Right now, it's in the works. But I'm excited to like see where it goes, and like thank you for giving me your platform to talk about it. And if you want to work with me, follow me on Instagram at KA__CHEENA. Thank you.
Okay, I ain't even have to ask you for the social.
No.
Yeah.
Hit me on the gram.
She done been here a couple times, y'all. She already know how this goes. I see you. Plug your shit. But if you want to follow me, you can follow me at MarissaY17 on Instagram, Snapchat, TikTok, Twitter when I feel like it, but I never feel like it, and Marissa Yarbrough on Facebook. And if you want to follow Thinker versus Speaker, we on YouTube, Facebook, Instagram. Find us on TikTok at Thinker versus Speaker Official, Thinker versus Speaker everywhere else, and any of the major streaming services or anything like that. And I also have a second YouTube channel called Marissa the Thinker. If you want to go follow me over there, we talk about healing and stuff like that, things of that nature. So go ahead, get over there. Let's check that out. But on that note, we finna get on and wrap it up and get the fuck up out of here. Anything else for the people, guys?
That is all.
All right, we're gonna see y'all next week.
Bye.
Bye.